hello, strangers. It is Tuesday, June the 4th, and I have not uploaded in a very long time. I do believe the last thing I uploaded was the day that I was scoring leadership application files, and that was it. Now, that's not to say that I haven't picked up the camera since then. I've actually picked up the camera quite a bit between that day and now, and I actually just deleted all that footage today because I would pick up the camera or have the best of intentions of vlogging, and I would either not have time or not have the energy or not have the motivation or a combination of the three. So I wasn't super consistent. So I had nothing but the best of intentions of sharing how the end of the school year panned out for me. But I just couldn't. Like the last month of school, I'm sure you all know, if your teachers goes by really quickly, and it's really jam-packed with things, especially if you teach like 5th grade or 8th grade, or any sort of transitional year where they're moving from like the elementary level to the middle school level, or the middle school level in my case to the high school level, because there's all these additional events going on. So all that to say, my leadership class has been created. I believe I have about 27 students in total. I'm feeling pretty good about the group that I've put together. So that went well. After that was established and done, then we had to, in leadership, immediately move into getting ready for the 5th grade fly-up, which is basically the orientation for incoming 6th graders. That went really well. We tried a couple of new things with that, one of which was providing the kids with a handout with QR codes on it that had videotaped clips of the different tour spots they went on the actual day where they came and took a tour of the campus. And instead of having the tour groups be comprised of smaller groups of students that all went to the same school, we randomized the groups so that the tour groups were comprised of kids from all 3 feeder schools. That worked really well. There was one little snafu with that, and I ended up having to do a tour because there was a group of kids that just weren't assigned, but that wasn't a big deal because I obviously know the campus. So the 5th grade fly-up was a success. Then after that was market day. That ended up being a success. The kids enjoyed it. The parents gave great feedback. We had 30 student booths, and the students sold original/homemade items. There were a couple of booths where you could tell it really was the parents' business, and they were using this like kind of as a guise. So that happened, and then that was my last official leadership thing. And I think soon after that, the last day of leadership occurred. And then we just jumped right into the end of the year activities for 8th grade. So we went to Knott's. That went well for the most part. There was a 2.5-hour time block where one of my students was missing, but we found him. He just didn't check in. Then we had the 8th grade picnic. That is the event that Taylor and I are in charge of, and that went well. We have an In-N-Out truck come. The kids are at the park. They play games. Like, once it's planned, it's good to go. Then we had, and I may be saying these things out of order, we had field day, which is just an event that's hosted by our PE teachers. Then we had field day, which is just put on by our PE teachers, and it's basically the different classes compete against each other in little fun athletic events. Like obstacle courses and things like that. Taylor and I go really hard on that because there's one teacher that just declares that he's going to win every year. He didn't win last year, but I think that was the first time he hadn't won in years. And he's just kind of like, he just kind of expects to win. And so that really motivates Taylor and I to like get our kids ready. And then each class is supposed to have like a theme. Like usually a class will dress in a specific color or have a, Taylor and I go with a theme. And our classes this year, for whatever reason, wanted to have a gender reveal theme. I was not there when this idea was pitched, nor do I know the whole backstory of like where it even originated from and why it was a thing, but that's what we chose. And so all of our posters and our little chants had something to do with gender reveal. Is it a boy or is it a girl? We actually had a baby, a student that was wearing a diaper. for at one point. Taylor was the dad to be, I was the mom to be, which caused a little controversy because on the morning of field day, I had to wear a pink sweatshirt with a sash that said it's a girl. So then people were like, oh my God, Miss Robinson is pregnant. And I was getting they were congratulating me. News had spread so fast that friends that work at different campuses or at different sites were texting me to be like, is it true? Are you pregnant? Everybody was in shock. As they should be, because if I ever announce that I'm pregnant, just know that Jesus is coming back, because that's how miraculous it would in fact be. So that was fun. And then we had the 8th grade dance, we had promotion, and really none of that, I couldn't even pick up a camera to capture that because it was just one thing after the other. And to be quite honest, the last week and a half or so of school, I'm just babysitting teenagers. I'm just making sure they don't hurt each other. It's kind of loose. I'm letting them just enjoy their time together. And I was exhausted. So none of that could I capture on camera. And I'm telling you, I was clawing. Taylor and I were clawing our way to the last day of school, because like I've said numerous times, and not to sound like a broken record, this year was really difficult. Our classes in general, collectively, were not that bad. I think just collectively, our classes, as well as all the 8th grade teachers, because we all felt the same way, they just lacked a certain level of maturity that we're accustomed to. So that created more need to manage certain behaviors that we really haven't had to manage before. They weren't always the nicest to each other. And then within that, I can't speak for other classes because I wasn't teaching, but I just can gather that it was pretty much the same for them because we all had the same comments throughout the year. Within Taylor and I's classes, we had several students that just required a lot, whether it was a lot of academic support, a lot of behavioral support, a combination of the two, emotional support. It just was exhausting. On top of that, parents this year were exhausting. They were literally doing the absolute most, not all parents, just enough to make it so that it was just out of hand. And I think for me, I just generally, after 20 years of teaching and working at a certain capacity and level, I think I really was just burnt out. So all of those things combined just made for a difficult year. So the summer is here. I was supposed to be traveling to Egypt this summer. That was canceled just because, you know, that area of the world is not super stable. So that was canceled. I'm not teaching summer school. There's not any massive overhauling in my classroom that I'm trying to do. And I think all of that lined up, or all of these things are lining up together, because I think that is God's way of telling me that I need to take a break. I need to sit my little self down and really just teach myself how to truly relax. Woofy. He's on neighborhood watch. So that is what I'm going to do. So that's pretty much it. You haven't missed a whole lot. My sister's calling. Hold on. That was my sister. We had to catch up. But yeah, that's pretty much how the school year ended. And so my last day of school, Mimi was actually in town because the Sunday before Memorial Day, we had Emery's 2nd birthday. So Mimi was in town for that. It was very cute, Blue's Clues themed. It was a success because I got some cute photos with Emery. Her and I had some time together, having fun. It was like she knew it was her birthday. She was in a great mood. And then my sister ended up staying longer than I think she has ever stayed, or has stayed in a while, because also during the last couple weeks of school, one of my dad's brothers had a massive heart attack, and he was in a coma for a couple of weeks, and his heart was fine, but unfortunately, because of the heart attack, he spent too much time without oxygen to the brain, which affected his brain function. So what ended up happening is that they did test to see, is there enough brain activity to think that if he comes out of this coma, he's going to be in the same or similar state that he was, and the answer to that question was no. Like, they were like, if he comes out of this, what you see in this hospital bed will probably be what you get, and he would have to be in assisted care, in a assisted care facility for the foreseeable future. So his wife talked a lot with my sister about, and got advice from her as well as the advice from the doctors, and had to make the decision to remove the support that was keeping him alive, and then just keep him comfortable knowing that by doing that, it is highly likely that he would pass away. And so one of the days during the last couple weeks of school, I taught, and then my family and I went down to the hospital. Mimi was here during that time as well. I don't remember why she came that time. I'm not sure. There was a reason why Mimi was out before that, but for whatever reason she was out, so we were able to go down to the hospital and really kind of say goodbye to our uncle while he was still actively, well, I guess not actively breathing because the machines were doing it for him, but while he was still alive. And then we just had his funeral this past weekend. So that was very unexpected. I did just lose an aunt a few months ago, so it's been a rough time for the family. My aunt's passing was kind of expected because she was older. She had significant health problems for a while, whereas my uncle, he's a year younger than my dad, so in his early 70s. Very active, very youthful, very like just that cool uncle up until the last time that I saw him. So this heart attack really felt like it came out of nowhere. Although in the aftermath, we found out that he had been diagnosed with congestive heart failure and wasn't really consistent about monitoring that. So it came out of nowhere for us, but there were some things that kind of led or played into that. So Mimi has gone home and I've just been here. Just trying to totally unwind and get into the summer groove of things. So with all that being said, I don't know how frequently I will be vlogging. I'm really surprised that I even picked up the camera today because I really thought that I wasn't going to do any of this, any social media posting, any vlogging, any uploading. So we'll see. I think I'm just gonna do it as I feel like doing it and not really give myself too much grief if I don't. So we'll see. Because it is nice to talk to you guys during the summer and kind of let you see a different aspect of my life outside of teaching. So I don't know. I can't make any promises. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna vlog, but I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be super consistent. Now, one thing that I haven't shared that I've been working really hard to hide while I've been talking to you guys is that yesterday, I added to my family. My family has grown. I'm not pregnant. Still not pregnant. That's not gonna happen. But I added a new family member. Wolfie and I have turned from a family of 2 to a family of 3. I ended up getting a puppy yesterday. Not planned. Didn't think that was gonna happen. But I was talking to my brother on the phone on Sunday, and he happened to just mention like, hey, there's a lady in my neighborhood that's giving away puppies for free. No rehousing or rehoming fee, just her dog had 7 puppies in total. That's Wolfie's butt and tail. 7 puppies in total. She has a baby. Both her and her husband work from home. And so they're just looking to make sure that the puppies get a good home. So I was like, well, I don't really know. I'm not. I said, but just let me have her contact information and see if you can send me some photos. Then that turned into me contacting her and saying, do you have any video? Do you have any females? Because I knew I wanted a female. That turned into me actually going all the way down to her, not all the way down, like she lives like 20 minutes away, like down the street from my brother, going down to her house and meeting the puppies and picking one that I liked. And then that turned into me saying, give me 24 hours. I need 24 hours to think about it and I'll get back to you. So I did go home Sunday night, slept on it, thought about it. The only apprehension is like, I've had 2 dogs before. When I had Riley, which is actually my brother, and Genesis, which was mine. But both of those dogs had been trained. I had known them for a long time, and they were small. And having 2 dogs is double the cost. Now I have to buy food for 2 dogs. Now I need pet insurance for 2 dogs. And I can afford it. It's just like, do I want to add more cost to my monthly budget? And just the anxiety of like, can I handle 2 dogs? Do I want to handle 2 dogs? It has been nice just to focus on 1 dog with Woofy and just kind of only be responsible for that. But Woofy desperately needs a playmate because he loves to play, and I don't have enough time in the day to play with him for as much as he would like. And anytime Mimi comes into town with Ethel, he loves playing with her, and he always wants to play with other dogs. So I thought about that, and then I'm like, the dog is free, and if there was ever a time to introduce a new puppy into your life, it would be during your summer break where you have the time. So I did. So it's a Shih Tzu mixed with the pug. I'm gonna pick her up right now. You may have like seen little clips of her because she's kind of been moving. But her name, let's get her here. Oh, let's see. Here she is. She just snorted in my face. Her name is Luna Sky. Luna's her first name. Sky is her middle name. Look at her. That's the little face, little smush face you're gonna see a lot of. She's been doing well. She slept through the night last night. Whoopi, get out of there. Pottied on the potty pad already. Used the bathroom outside a couple of times. We're trying to keep that to a minimum because I have to take her in on Friday to get her vaccinations. And, are you ready for this? She was born on March 31st, my birthday. So it's like, it's meant to be. So a big part of my summer, although I was supposed to take it easy and not do anything, will be getting little girly pop here acclimated. So that's the biggest update I have to give you, is that I'm now a mother of 2. A boy and a girl. Wolfie's being a good big brother, huh? Are you being a good big brother? It's a mix of curiosity. He wants to play with her. He's a little apprehensive around her, but he's been pretty good. So that's, you're all caught up. You're all caught up in my life and what I've been doing and what I've been up to and how my school year ended. And what I'm getting ready to do right now is take these 2 out on a walk. Wolfie will be on the leash and Luna's going to be in the stroller that I saved from Genesis. As far as going forward with the vlogs, I really this summer plan on focusing on just myself and getting back to things that make me feel a greater sense of peace. And because I just feel like this past year I just haven't totally felt like myself. So that will be the focus, and that's probably what I'll talk about mostly in the vlogs. And some of that may include me doing schoolwork if I feel like it. So I'm not gonna be on a schedule. I don't know when the next upload is gonna be. It could be tomorrow. You know, it just really depends. So I would definitely turn on the notifications bell if you don't already have that turned on, so that you know when I do upload. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please feel free to do so. At the very least, maybe leave a little comment for Luna, welcoming her to the family. But yeah, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment for Luna. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And as always, I hope that you're well. And if you're not well, please be well. And we will see you in the next vlog. Until then, take care and we'll talk to you later. Bye.